All right, ladies and gentlemen, as we load into the qualifying session for round number 12, Monaco GP, and as you can see, we once again, like Tier 3 and Tier 1, we will be racing Monaco at night. Fantastic spot, obviously. One of the crown jewels on the F1 calendar. Fairly tricky to make an overtake, so qualifying is very, very important. For probably the most important quality session of the season. But yeah, it's fantastic to race here and looking forward to this 17 car grid that we'll have tonight. Scotty here with you to bring all the action for Tier 2 once again, and this time I'm joined by a man that probably didn't have the best nights last night in Tier 3, but glad that he could jump into the comms box with me. Mertz, how are you this fine Saturday afternoon?
Good man. It's thanks for having me. It's gonna be a very interesting race tonight. As last night it was actually decently clean. We only had two DNFs. So tonight hopefully we can have zero, and hopefully it'll be a fantastic race.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I actually commentated on it last night. Some good battles. Quick killer, obviously, with the hard soft strategy, which I think surprised both myself and the Battle Cat that made that strategy work. But soft's 4 seconds a lap quicker at the end. Yeah, make it fascinating. But we'll see who can come out on top. Buster, great to see you in the chat as always. Hopefully you enjoyed tonight, and hopefully we get as much action as we did see last night. And as you said, two DNFs, and it was actually relatively clean as well. So fantastic to watch as we've got a few of these guys coming out on outlaps now. We've got one of the Haas's just about to come around the final corner. If Mertz, do you want to take us through a lap of this just over 3.3 kilometre circuit?
Yep, I'd love to.
So on board with Wayne.
Wayne. See what he can put on today. So it's just come through the first turn there, decently clean. Ooh, clip the wall there on the right. Seems to have wing damage, and as soon as we're talking about that, looks like Swiss Lord is in the wall. Just where Wayne's gone by. I think he might have...
Yeah, he's gone.
Just on board with Toddy there.
Yeah, just after the swimming pool has Swiss Lord, unfortunately, and not the first time we've seen that. Just on board with NATO now. Obviously, very easy. Just go a little bit deep at the swimming pool. Maybe just rode the inside curve at the chicane there, and unfortunately lost his front right. So that's one gone, as we've only gone 3 minutes into the session. So
Yep.
obviously we did see Wayne previously just hit the wall on the right hand side at Casino Square. So obviously just struggling a little bit as Elaine Sander picks up the fastest lap at the moment at 12.6. So we might try and right on board with Marty B. He loves his hot laps in Tier 1, so we might actually follow him through on a lap, and hopefully we can get through a lap without another incident.
Yep. Yeah, he's been very consistent this season so far, and he's getting relatively close to P1 in the championship. So key points for Ferrari tonight would be fantastic for the overall championship, and also fantastic for him.
Yeah, 100% as he's making his way through turn 3. As you can see, the pole position just going quicker and quicker for the guys, but we're just riding on board with Marty B as he comes through turn number 5, and then obviously the slowest corner in the F1 calendar. Just about 45 kilometres an hour, and then around the first right hand, and then the second right hand of Portier turn 8, and then coming underneath the tunnel. So possibly an opportunity to make an overtake down into turn 10 at the Novell chicane, which is a quick left to right, but he's unfortunately cut that and invalidated his lap. But we'll just ride on board to see the rest of the track. Obviously turn 12 is to back. And then we got through the little chicane of 13 and 14, and then obviously the swimming pool, which we saw Swiss Lord unfortunately lose it. And then rounding turn 17 as at Larascas. And then the final couple of corners, 18 and 19 at Anthony Nogues. And that would give you the one and only DRS zone to cross the line. And obviously Marty with the 14.6, but he definitely backed off to save a bit of ERS. So, but Toddy goes quickest at the moment at 10.6, along with Yusuf goes at 10.8. Massive Ego, who his form last week was actually quite well around Austria in the sprint format. So interesting to see how he goes. Obviously top 3 at the moment. Mercy, who missed last week, currently in P4. Obviously, his championships took a little bit of a hit last week, and as you said, Marty B, very consistent this season. He's only 10 points behind in the standings, so it's got to be very interesting to see how we go in the final 8 rounds of this championship. But yeah, we'll see how we can go as we just try and find somebody else who's just about to.
Mercy, you might be setting up for a lap. He's just clipped the wall there.
No,
No,
he's
he's
coming
coming
in.
into the pits.
So I know with ERS usage, you can sort of go back to back in terms of your hot laps. Obviously, just the tyre temp could be a big issue towards your second half of your lap, but you can run a bit of fuel and get 2 runs in, or a hot lap, a cool down lap, and another hot lap. As I think that was Marty B goes into the top 6, 11.5. So it's going to be very interesting to see. We pretty much had 2 dominate the qualifying last night. As I quickly get the results up. Oh, and that's a bit of a slide from Tetris coming through turn 17.
Just on board with Battlecat now. He seems to be putting in a pretty solid lap here. He's just trying to gain as much time as he can here, and it's actually looking very clean and solid. So this is the most hardest part of the track. So this is where a lot of DNFs and also invalidated laps come across here. So let's see what he can do here.
Yeah, I was just quickly having a look at the pole time from last night. 11 flat was Trenner and Quick Killer was 2 tenths behind, so we've already got a couple of the guys underneath that barrier already, as we're on board with the Battle Cat. As that's a little bit deeper through turn 18, will affect his run, but he'll get a bit of DRS. He'll come across the line and about 6 tenths down, unfortunately, so he'll have another go at it. He's actually done 4 laps on these soft tyres, so he won't be using them in the race, that's for sure. As we've got one of the Haas's, Wade Morris hasn't quite set a lap time. Obviously running no traction control for the first week, and what a track to actually do no traction control around here.
Yeah, it's got some steel balls down there to actually run no traction around here. This will be very tricky tonight, but yeah, see what we can do with it really. Can be something that he can get adjusted to it really quick. But yeah, it is. I'd be very nerved if I was running no traction here.
Yeah, he's
and speaking, he's out.
Oh, Wayne. Where is he
Commentator's curse.
Where is he been? He's been that out of the hairpin, and that's a no traction. As we can see, the Haas on the just disappear there. So that's just a little bit heavy on the traction, and unfortunately, he has binned it. So really unfortunate. Can I get you to invite Vicky into the lobby, please?
Sure.
Obviously, must be running just a little bit late, so Vicky will get an invite out to you very shortly. So I just saw that, so I obviously want to get you into the lobby as quickly as we can. Riding with the lovely aerial shot at the hairpin of Toddy. She's got a Ferrari getting out of the way. Obviously very tough to get out of the way at Monaco. So it's best not to sort of dawdle on your out laps. But thankfully the Ferrari has found a spot to hold on. But it's Novell chicane now. That was a quicker line there from Toddy. Obviously just missing out the barrier on the left-hand side and then coming through to back. It was a nice line through there. Purple in the middle sector, but he's got an Aston Martin, and that might have just held him up a little bit. We'll see if he lost any time. I don't think Toddy will be too happy with that, but the Aston just got out of the way in time as Toddy makes his run to the start-finish line, and he does improve by only 9/1000ths of a second. So I'm just wondering if that... it was a very minor block, but just enough to maybe put him off. So, but Toddy showing some good form. Race with him on Wednesday night at this track and showed some really good form before he had an unfortunate incident towards the back end of the race. So yeah, watch for Toddy if he can maintain this pole, as I have got... Where is that? That's Mercy going backwards to get into the pit lane. Mercy, how have you done that? He's had a spin out of 17, but it looked like he spin past the pit lane and then drove backwards to come into it. Yeah, okay. As we've got Massive just letting a couple of Ferrari through. As we see down the race, currently in P10, did quite well as Vicky is into the session. So great job to do it. And Wayne, you binned it on the in-lap. Come on. But as I said, you worked your way up quite nicely last night, even with the broken rear wing. With no traction, you did a fantastic job to keep that track and scored ninth, I believe, eighth or ninth. So great job from you. As Toddy had that mistake or that minor block, but he's improved by another 4 tenths. Goats actually found 4 tenths improvement as well, but still about 2 and a bit tenths behind. So it looks like those are going to be your top two with pace. As Ego, he's coming around Portier now. We'll see if he's going to need time. Probably a little bit loose off the exit. But it's a lovely shot coming through the tunnel. And then coming down the hill for the Novell chicane. And took a nice line through there. We'll see how Ego goes through the final sector. Through to back. Carried a lot, not too bad speed. He's about 3 tenths down. So we'll see if he's got time in hand in this last sector.
Pushing very hard right now.
Yeah, there's so many spots on this track as he had a little bit of a slide. Ooh. And yeah, that was a late caller. He obviously felt like probably lost some delta time on that last corner, so he decides to give it up, which I don't blame him. But Yusuf, he's gone purple in the middle sector. Oh, was that a slight touch of the wall? If not, he got very, very loose out of that, out of the swimming pool. But he's coming around the final couple of corners now. So Yusuf, can he find that 2.5 tenths he needs? He does. 10 flat.
Oh, that's like a very quick lap. That's very impressive from Yusuf.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, we know what pace he's had. He's been very impressive the last, especially last week. Didn't maybe get the big results that he wanted. But yeah, he's been fantastic to watch. Marty B currently in P3 and actually ahead of Mercy. So Mercy just hasn't quite been able to get the lap time together at the moment. But we still have 5 3/4 minutes left in the session.
Just on board with Marty B, as we were just talking about him, I think he's gone up for another lap here. And pushing himself in more harder here.
Yeah, as he rides the curbing over at the swimming pool.
I think this might be an in-lap.
Yeah, this will be definitely an in-lap. So, maybe possibly a small mistake as NATO currently on board with, or sorry, the aerial view I should say. And not sure if he's pushing real hard. I guess we'll have to wait and see when he comes through the Novell chicane. But it's definitely interesting. It seems like, as I said before, top two are quite a gap ahead of the rest of the field. But it's just that sort of track. You've pretty much got to lay it all out on the line. That's why I reckon we'll see a couple of DNFs on these final flies, just trying to give it everything. As Nato carrying some nice speed through there. As he rounds the third last corner.
In the wall there.
Yeah, Mercy having a couple of little issues as well. Nato crosses the line. He doesn't match, so he stays P7. Back on board with Mercy. That look a very tidy lap, so he's obviously abandoned that lap and he'll go again. Nato's on 5-lap old softs, so that's probably why he's a little bit loose in the rear. Battlecat is on his flyer.
So, I might hop onto Borisov's as if you want to stay on Battlecat. Looks like he's going on for a lap as well, right here.
Yeah, so it'd be good to see Borisov obviously only down in P13, 12.6. Just waiting on Vicky to set a lap time, so we'll see where they can end up. But good to see Vicky into the lobby now as we watch the Battlecat come down the hill. Takes that chicane nicely within track limits as well. And then how aggressive does he take to back? Wasn't too bad. Does purple in the middle sector. He's up 0.14. So that could possibly move him. Challenge for 4th. Oh, that was not too bad. Just needs to drive out of the final corner. That wasn't too bad either. So Battlecat goes up a spot. So 11-1 just behind Ego. So I think Battlecat will be happy with the P5 start around here. But obviously there's still 3 minutes left in the session. As how is Borosov going on his lap?
He had a very good sector 2. It was very smooth and clean. Well, this is the tricky part of the track here. So this is where a lot of time will be gained. Seems that he's got a lot of ARS saved as well, so more time to push, I guess. He's flying through here. This looks to be a quick lap.
Oh,
I
and
think Deadly's crashed on track.
yeah, he has. That's just after the Casino Square exit, so obviously having an issue. So he is out of the session as we finish the lap with Broseph. Improves by half a second, but only moves up a couple of spots. So P12 for the Ferrari driver.
Still got enough ARS to go back to back here.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of the guys can do. Nato's invalidated this lap and he's out of fuel, so he's having to push to come into the pits. Might be touch and go if you can actually finish this, get into the pits, change tyres. We've only got 2 minutes left to go in the session, so I think he might be done, unfortunately. As Vicky has gone P11. Oh, and that's banging the wall at back. Lost a part of his wing. So unfortunately that's going to be Bang's session over because he won't be able to improve his time. And will stay P16.
This might be an in-lap for Broseph here. Seems that he's a bit down on his delta. But P12 is a decent starting grid at this track, especially because chaos will happen on turn 1 and it is a good position to get around cars crashing and not, so
Yeah.
pretty solid from the Ferrari driver.
Yeah, Alessieta goes into P10, so just inside the top 10. As we've got Broseph, he's going to finish this lap. So he doesn't have any ARS. Could he find an improvement? No, he doesn't. He stays in P12. What about the McLaren? Got to keep an eye on them. Nato's retired in the pit lane. Mercy is starting his final run now. We've got a minute, just over a minute left to go in the session. So it's going to be fast flying laps. Daniel Starr as well. He's on his final run, starting his final run. What about Marty B? He's just about...
Tetris has got a purple sector 2 here.
Ooh, that's going to be interesting to see as I'm on board. Battlecat's downhill, starting his final one. Mercy's quicker through the first sector as Yusuf goes quicker. 10.063, so he's gone slightly quicker. Tetris P5, great lap from him.
Pretty phenomenal from the Tifo driver.
Yeah, Red Bull Battlecat, he's about to start his final run. 27 seconds left of the session. Lane Santa, can he improve? He's slightly down. He'll have time for one more. He's probably got enough battery as well. What about Dan the Racer? He is just... Yeah, he'll be the last one across the line. Everyone else will receive the checkered flag. Mercy's invalidated his lap. And he's not going to have time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And he's hit the checkered flag. He won't be improving any further. He stays in P7. Dan the Racer.
Marty Beans is coming around the last turn here.
Yeah, it's
looks
going
to get a bit of a draft from his teammate Broseph. He's up on his delta as well.
Yeah, Dan. Yeah, P7. Knocks Mercy down. What about the battle? Marty B stays P3.
Very solid.
The Alfa Romeo of Yusuf stays in P1, doesn't improve. We've got the Red Bull first of Battlecat, currently in P6. He's currently slightly up on his time. It's very close between him and Tetris. Can he jump up a spot? As we hit the line, finds a couple of tenths, jumps into P5. What about the Williams of Tetris? Can he get that spot back? No, he stays P6. We got an Alpha Tauri. Lane Santa stays 10th. And Dan's unfortunately invalidated. And I think that is going to be the session done. And it's going to be Yusuf who gets the pole position. 10.063. 2 tenths ahead of Toddy, who I think made a mistake on his last flying that didn't quite get the result done. But it's been those two top of the session the entire way. But fantastic quality session from the Alfa Romeo driver. And it's Yusuf, Toddy, on your front row, Marty being Ego, great job from the two of them. Battlecat, Tetris, Daniel Starr, Mercy, championship leader, only down in P8, 1.2 seconds off in terms of pace. Nato in P9, and Elaine Santa, great job to find himself just inside the top 10. Vicky with the pretty much the only one run that he had, they had in P11, Broseph in P12, Deadly Fuller crashing out, P13, Dan in 14th, A-Dog in 15th, Bang in 16th, and then obviously we lost Wayne halfway through that session, and the Swiss Lord pretty much right at the start. So fantastic qualifying for a couple of those guys in there. As we load into this race, Just having a look at Nato won the feature last time out. He's got a bit of work to do it from P9, but Yusuf picking up the second spot. And Parallel Aussie, who's unfortunately not with us tonight, finishing third. That was your podium, and that penalties applied, I believe. But Mertz, who are we thinking? It's obviously all important to get the jump off the start, and we saw. I think it was Quick Killer got a pretty good start off the hards, but couldn't quite around the outside. Are we thinking the pole man could lead into turn one?
Look, I'm actually on Marty B on this one here. He's on the left side of the track, and P3, it's a fantastic position to start in, as you're pretty safe if you have a decent start. You've got two cars in front of you that'll be fighting for the first lap, so I'm definitely going to be on board with Marty here, and hopefully he can take the win tonight as well.
Yeah, it'd definitely be good to see Marty. He's been ultra consistent, but he hasn't actually picked up a win. We've seen him pick up 3 seconds in the third, but he hasn't been able to just nail that victory, unlike the likes of Mercy, Nato, Gordo, Daniel Starr, Izzo right at the start of the season, and Kyra as well. So it'd be good to see him get a win. But as the guys make any changes to their tyre strategies, we are underway for the formation lap. So we'll have 39 laps of Monaco, and as you can see, a lot of them have chosen the white-walled hard compound tyre.
Yeah, same tyre strategy as last time. I'm guessing a lot of people going for two stops as well, going from the hard to soft. But maybe some drivers tonight would take a keynote off. I believe it was Quick Killer last night that went to the hard to soft. Correct me if I'm wrong.
That's why I'm thinking a lot of the guys have gone the hard tyre, because you imagine, like Battlecat in comms with me last night noticed that strategy, and I reckon a lot of guys took notice of that strategy last night.
Yeah, they could definitely go to the end. You can take those hards to the end. And even those softs as well. At the end of the race, they will be a bit cooked compared to the other tyres, but off the start, you can build a major gap with those fresh soft tyres.
Yeah, and of course, not to mention, obviously, safety cars can come into play. They've somewhat fixed the glitch. It's still not perfect, but you can get safety cars around here again, and obviously that comes into play. So if you're a medium runner, if it comes out sort of early, you can make your stop onto the hards, but again, it's going to be if you've got a gap. I think that saved Quick Killer that he only had to pass 2 cars to get that win back. But if you're in the mid-pack, the soft might work at the end, but you're going to pass a lot more cars, and if a lot of them are on softs, you sort of don't get that benefit. But Yusuf, he obviously wants track position. He wants the good getaway off the line, so he's going to go mediums, and it's going to be interesting to see if Toddy, if he doesn't quite get the jump on the Alfa Romeo, to see if he can just stay with him. But as we come around the little bend on the start-finish straight, I think we've got Swiss Lord just coming around the final corner now. He is on the soft tyres, looking to try and make a couple of spots. But it's got to be all important to try and get the good getaway. Yeah, off the line, short run, obviously into turn number 1, the right-hander of Lasource. Sorry, not Lasource, Sandovote. Better get the right track. But we are just about got the lights. Eventually.
Hopefully we don't have a glitch. Oh, no, looks good to go.
we got him now. So we've got the 5 red lights. Round 12 of Monaco Tier 2 action. It enters is underway, and it looked like an alright start from Yusuf Toddy. He's gotten away as can we get clear. We're going side by side. A little bit of contact between the Red Bull and the Aston. So Battlecat still facing in the right way. We've got a yellow flag at the back, and that is Swiss Lord. So that soft tyre has not worked. Hopefully he hasn't picked up any damage. As we round Casino Square for the first time, Yusuf leads Toddy, leads Marty, leads Massive Ego. So not really any positions gained. We've got Elaine Santa getting the move done on Nato. He's had a bit of a slow start. So he's dropped that 1 spot as we come through the hairpin, and that's a bit of a dive from, I say a bit of a dive from the Alpine. He was pretty much stopped as we got the yellow flag for just how slow the guys go through the hairpin on the first lap. But looked like a relatively clean start other than the first corner, as I think we've got Vicky really hustling Nato. So it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, Nato's got wing damage. He's got front wing damage, unfortunately. So that's why he's just losing pace to the other guys. as we can get the shot overlooking the harbour at night. And NATO just getting out of the way. Guys have just got to be really careful with the limping Aston. As Yusuf sets the fastest lap on the medium tyres. We've had contact between Wayne and A-Dog.
Ooh.
So I said it was a clean start.
Looks as NATO's NATO and Wayne, as you're just saying, wing damage first lap of the race.
Yeah, so Wayne's had another little spin, so he'll come into pit lane. NATO obviously with the front wing damage earlier on in the lap. So obviously, I'm not sure if it was the contact with one of the cars, didn't quite see it. But that's going to shovel him down. He'll make his pit stop onto the soft tyre. Swistle going to the mediums. And Wayne will be coming in. I'm surprised he didn't actually come in that lap because he's got no front wing. So Wayne just little easy rounding the few corners. But we'll head back to the lead because the top two are sort of getting away from Marty B on those hards. So Toddy's able to stay with Yusuf for the time being. All in the back, and Battle Cat's got a little bit of front wing damage as well, so just got to be a little bit mindful for the Red Bull driver. Obviously, got to just take it easy the first 10-15 laps, heavy fuel. Just very easy to wash wide in a few of these corners, graze the wall, and he's sort of got a little bit of a train behind him as Yusuf goes quicker once again, but Toddy, he's not letting him go.
Just on board with Wayne here, just to see if anything does happen. NATO's already 4 seconds behind. Same as Swiss Lord as well. They're definitely... Oh, Wayne's out. Wayne is out. NATO's gone to the back of him.
And NATO probably lucky that I just caught that. NATO's probably very lucky that he didn't actually... Well, he gets the 5-second penalty, but that's not surprising if you hit a car up the rear end. But NATO probably very lucky that he didn't lose one of his front wheels, to be honest. So he will be coming back in because he's got no front wing, as you can see on the screen. So he'll come...
I think that would be a pretty interesting report there, as...
No, he can't really report that because Wayne obviously crashed on circuit. You can't really report someone who's already crashed, not really their fault. But again, just sort of surprising that Wayne didn't come in on that lap to get a front wing change. So now again, his 5 seconds removed. Thankfully it's under VSC because he does not want to become a lap down.
He hasn't had the best start to Monaco this round.
As he
all.
Gets back underway. As we do go back green flag racing, everyone keeping within the delta, but you can see Noto coming out of the pit lane, but you can see Yusuf is right there. So he is very shortly about to get blue flag, so he'd want to hope that he's got a lot of pace on those soft tyres to avoid being a lap down. But Marty's really struggling, and Ego Battle Cat, Daniel Saar Tetris, you got a big line. It looked like Marty sort of maybe had a bit of an issue with the Delta, that he's really lost about a second compared to Toddy. So it's a big train behind, so we'll see how they can go.
Yeah, there's already a bit of a gap forming between P10 and P11. Brace of 2.2 seconds behind off the start, so not the best start, but Monaco is a track where it's very hard to overtake and cars will slow you down if you try your hardest to try and make the move. But
yeah, 100%.
Hopefully that gap can close and we can get some quality racing as soon as possible. Everyone can bunch back up. It'll be fantastic.
Yeah, well, it's going to be interesting to see how this this battle from third down. Sorry, I should go. Marty and Battle Cat sort of the two struggling in terms of outright pace. Battle Cat with his damage, Marty just on the hards trying to fend off Ego. Alex, if I'm pronounced that with the double Z's, we are racing at Monaco at night, so a little bit of change for Inters this season. So getting the lights on the circuit. And yeah, Wayne unlucky with the obviously reset to track, put you past. That was obviously always going to hurt you to do that. And Mr. Pitson obviously taking to back. It's already hard enough trying to get the line perfect with all your bits together, and yeah, no front wing through there. Absolute carnage. Oh, Ego had a bit of a slide coming through turn 7, so just struggling a little bit. Only 5 laps. Yellow flag at the back. I
Ooh,
think we've
I
lost
think that's Bang.
Bang, yeah. So he's obviously had a bit of an issue. Has he got any damage? Not that I can tell at the moment.
Vicky is out. I'm just gonna hop on board
Oh,
with Broseph here to
oh,
see what's
he's
happened.
yeah, Novell chicane.
Oh,
So
I think he's done a me.
He's gone deep. Oh, so you reckon he's hit the inside? Because I'm assuming you hit the inside
Yep,
wall.
it does swing you. Yep.
Yep. So that's really unlucky. Nato fastest lap. That's what he needed to do. Just break away from this top 2 because he cannot afford to get lapped. But yeah, really unfortunate for Vicky. I'm assuming
Seems that the marshals are pretty quick around that turn there. No
Yeah,
safety
no.
car, same as last night. Extremely quick
Yeah,
to get that
obviously.
removed.
Yeah, so only the one VSC so far. Yusuf still not dropping Toddy, but obviously Toddy is on the harder tyre, so will be a little bit quicker towards the end of this stint. As Vicky unfortunately leaving the session, so really unlucky for the Alfa Romeo driver. Just having that
There's
collision
a massive
there.
gap formed between Brosov and Senna now. Within 2 laps, that gap has now gone to 5 seconds, which is pretty insane.
Yeah.
It might be Brosov struggling a bit, maybe some damage on the car, but not the best start. But P10 is, if you can keep that throughout the race, that's some good points for Ferrari.
Yeah, 100%. We know Broseph always brings the car home.
Oh, speaking of Brosov, is this
Oh, and I just
saved his car from going into the wall?
Yeah, so he's obviously gotten away with that, thankfully.
Very lucky, very
doesn't,
lucky.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's got damage, but if he wasn't slow before, he's a little bit slower now. So, oh, and Toddy, he's very close on the rear of our race leader, Yusuf. So, he's locking the hards a little bit better, or that could just be the pace. Race, as I said before, raced him Wednesday night. He's got pace around here, Toddy. So, hopefully he can do very well.
Yeah.
A bit of a gap to Marty B in third as well, who's actually keeping the gap to Ego and the Battle Cat as well.
The mediums last night started dying around lap 7, lap 9, so this could be a pretty good tyre strat here for Toddy, as those hards will go a lot longer than the mediums. I'm guessing around now the mediums would be at 20%, so he's got to try his best to maintain those tyres and maintain the lead as well.
Yeah, well, we know obviously Quick Killer made them last, I think it was 30 laps, those hard tyres, and went 9 laps softs or 8 laps softs. So he can definitely stretch him that long. He will be very quick at the end. Will Toddy and Yusuf, yeah, I sort of agree with you. Mediums really started dying for me a couple of nights ago. I think about lap 10, and they really just started sliding around, unfortunately. So Yusuf holding on about half a second. Obviously, very hard to actually overtake around here. So as long as he keeps it off the walls, he should be fine. As we're watching Daniel Starr still trying to get a move past the Battle Cat, but Battle Cat's driving very nicely. Lane Santa up into P9. I'm just wondering how those softs are feeling. He's about 3.5 off of Mercy in front, who's sitting in P8, obviously at the back of this big train.
Yeah, they look to be maintaining pretty well for him. He has built a gap, and he's in the middle right now of. He's got his own gap pretty much, and those softs aren't looking too bad for him at the moment.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how he goes. Obviously, he's got a bit of sort of in no man's land. He has a bit of a slide out of Portier. And as we head through the Novell chicane for the 8th time.
It's getting pretty toasty up here with Toddy. Nearly losing, just lost his rear there, but luckily saved it from going into the wall. Very close racing here, but it's going to be extremely difficult for him to overtake as Deadly Fuller has crashed out. And
at your favourite spot too, as we come through. Oh, he's just disappeared, thankfully for Bang, but unfortunately that's our second one at the Novell chicane tonight, and that's Deadly Fuller out, and we've lost both passes already, so no points for the American team.
Yeah, that turn is looking a lot more dangerous than last night today. It really is not a nice turn, as you're trying your hardest to maintain the gap and also maintain the gap behind you and catch up to the car in front of you as well. It's just a hard turn to focus on. You got to turn in exactly at the right time. A bit too early, you're going to be in the wall. If you turn in a bit too late, you're going to have major track limits.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like you've got such a fine balance that you don't want to go too deep because it makes the switch to the right hander so difficult, as we're about to see on board with Mercy. He's sort of stuck in this train, but you've got to turn in and just sort of open it up so you can have it. He has a little bit of a slide, but obviously you want to just try and carry the speed as much as you can. And yeah, as I said, it's either the wall or
Oh,
that's bang again at the hairpin. He's really struggling at that point. I think that's the second time, and he pretty sure that's. Oh, I thought that was an M plate. I thought I saw. Oh, he's another slide out of 48. Got to be careful. And the Battle Cat, and Battle Cat is in. So I think off the hard tyres. He's going to change his front wing. I don't think we've got any more damage, I'm not sure, but he's going to switch to the medium tyres. So he might be
just
able to...
really quickly, getting a bit tight at the back here, a bit of love taps happening. Broseph and Dan the Racer just touched Rianne's at the back just then, and it looks like Broseph wants to get this move done as soon as possible, and it's getting really close here.
Yeah, we saw the fight with Dan the Racer and Powers last night. Got a little bit feisty at some points. Powers trying to make the overtake, so obviously Broseph and Dan on the medium tyres, and they've got about 17 seconds to the pack in front, so these are sort of the... there's a few guys behind him, and Battle Cat's only 6.8, and I imagine he's going to catch these two very, very quickly. As field sort of spread out with Battle Cat coming in, Daniel Starr, we'll see if he's got a little bit of clean air. He was really hurrying Battle Cat along, so we'll see how much he can close in the Ego and see if he can sort of try and make a move past. But Williams doing quite well. Daniel Starr in 5th, Tetris in 6th, and I believe Tetris wasn't doing too bad last night. As I quickly have a look at the results while we're on board with the Williams of Daniel Starr.
Yeah, he's doing fantastic today as well, especially being a tier 3 driver against a lot of the quick T2 boys. He's done a pretty impressive job, but
he finished 7th.
as we're looking at the overall championships as well, Ferrari and Williams are very close together. So tonight, Ferrari definitely needs to finish in front of those Ferraris as last night. We didn't have the best night. As I believe we only had one car finish ahead of the Williams, so it'd be fantastic tonight if we can have two.
Yeah, I think so. And just as we mentioned that, Tetris loses the spot to Mercy, so I'm not sure if Tetris had a little bit of a moment or just lets Mercy through.
Dan the Racer has lost the left winglet. End plate. Left end plate.
So he's obviously had a bit of a moment. And Yusuf's got a bit
struggling now to get around turns.
Yeah, and Yusuf's got a bit of front wing damage as well. Looking at my little program on the side here, that won't hurt him. That won't help him in his battle with Toddy. As Dan the Racer has another slide out of the Portier. Does this open the door for Broseph? No, he won't really be close enough to have a lunge. But if Dan's missing an end plate,
he's gonna get the switch back here.
Yeah, that's gonna be close. But you never really work too wide. But Dan concedes the position. Probably a smart play. Too wide around to back never really work, and as I said, Battle Cat, after making this pit stop, has already caught this this pack. Problem is that's sort of the dangerous thing, as Dan is coming into the pit lane, so making an early-ish stop, probably to get that front wing changed. So Battle Cat moves up into P9, so his next target is Broseph. Then he's going to have about 20 seconds to clear track that hopefully he can he feel like he can try and close, maybe get a bit of an undercut on the likes of Marty, Ego, and Daniel Starr.
Yeah, talking about Daniel Starr and Ego, there's a big fight here for P4. And it's getting very close here as Daniel is trying to get that overtake done, as Mercy's, I believe, is just waiting behind to see what happens, but I think this is the closest battle in the circuit right now, as everyone is pretty well spread out.
Well, I say that, but Toddy's about 3/10 behind. And you get CRS, gets a bit of battery, but again, he won't be close enough for a move at turn 1. I said those mediums, that little bit of front wing. Oh, and Toddy has a slide out of Sandovo. He won't be too happy with that. But as I said, he's sort of playing the waiting game a little bit as Daniel Starr and Ego, side by side, and Mercy's going to capitalise on it, and he goes past. So Ego
can make a double here.
Yeah, Ego trying to get the move past. Daniel Starr trying to get the move past Ego around the outside, couldn't quite do it. Oh, and that's Ego into the wall. So
yeah, I think he just broke a bit early there, and Mercy's just clipped his rear. It's been unfortunate.
Really unlucky. So he'll come in. He's on the medium tyre, so that won't really hurt him a hell of a lot, considering that he'll go onto the hards. If he was on the hards now, he's really struggling to make mediums work. But Mercy, he's been gifted 2 free spots, and we've got A-Dog, I think's around further down. But I'll just stay on this battle, have a look at A-Dog. Looks like he's alright, hasn't lost a bit of wing, but
Might see a move here between Toddy and Yusuf.
yeah, Toddy's been trying to. Can he go this time? Again, not quite close enough. It's very hard at that corner. Oh, but Yusuf has a big moment. Toddy sort of had a half loss himself. I think he was just trying to get on the power ERS. He sees a move down the inside. Yusuf gives him the room. That's a lovely move from Toddy.
That's a fantastic move. He really needed to get that done, as Yusuf was slowing him down quite a lot there.
Yeah, you can tell out of turn one. Yeah, can tell out of turn one. Yusuf really losing the rear end, and yeah, Toddy I think just stuck the nose up. Then fair move from Yusuf just to give him enough room there. But it's gonna be interesting. Actually, Toddy's nearly pulled 8/10, so Toddy on a flyer at the moment. But yeah, that was a great move. A-Dog, a lot of these guys coming into pits, and unfortunately, a lot of them are having to change their front wings. Just the nature of the circus with the walls that close. So we have a new race leader on lap 14. It is Toddy out of Yusuf on those hards, but he has a slide out of the swimming pool. He's really hustling this car. And Yusuf, what does he do? He stays out for another lap. He's obviously got nearly an 8-second margin over Marty B in P3. Mercy clearing the pack behind him, sort of gapped him a little bit now too. So Daniel Starr in P5, Tetris in P6. As I think Nate, I was going to wonder, Nato's a lap behind. So he's just boxed, and he's a lap behind. So he'll be getting blue flags, so he's got to be careful. Don't want to pick up unnecessary 5-second penalties.
Just, Toddy, he has got 2 extending track warnings here, so if Yusuf could keep that gap within 3 seconds, especially after he boxes, this could work in favour of Yusuf at the moment, because he has no track limit warnings at all, and Toddy's in a position here where you're in the lead of the race, you still got quite a lot of pressure behind you as a car is trying to go for the win as well. You just got to be really careful on track limits, especially at the chicane right there.
Yes, I'm on board with Yusuf. Just switching to the gap to leader. Yusuf 1.6 seconds behind. If he makes a pit stop now, he'll fall behind Tetris. He's got a bit of a gap between Tetris and the Battle Cat that he can fall into if he makes his stop. But obviously, those hard runners will be going a little bit longer. So you'd have to probably make a move on hard tyres. But I think he's just wanting to, if he's got the pace on the medium still, just stay out as long as he can to try and gain a bit of better track position. Obviously, you can always ask the engineer just to see where he does come out in terms of a pit stop and check the MFD.
What lap do you reckon we'll see Yusuf come into the pits?
Probably surely in the next couple of laps. Because he'd be really starting to slide on those mediums, and you can tell Toddy's gained 2.5 seconds just alone. So, obviously, he's still comfortable over Marty's actually closed in a little bit on Yusuf, so it might be sooner rather than later. And looking at Mercy, he's actually bringing Daniel Starr and Nato, who's a lap down, into the battle with Marty. So we're going to have a championship fight here between these two probably shortly.
Yeah, Marty's gained quite a lot of time, 4 temps, just when we were just talking about Yusuf there. I think in the next 2 laps it would be time to box, as he is losing a majority amount of time at the moment.
Yeah, Toddy's just picked up front wing damage too. He hasn't lost an end plate, but he's slightly hit the wall somewhere. So top 2, running with a little bit of front wing. Daniel Starr in 6th, he's got a little bit of front wing damage, and Battle Cat in 7th. He's running a little bit of front wing damage as well. So just a few of these boys. The car just sliding around a bit with the tyre wear, just sliding into the walls, unfortunately. Got to be careful. But it'd be interesting to see if any of these guys do change their front wings. It's obviously only very minor, considering that they've got the end plates, but as I said, and Marty gets really close to the wall off the exit of Casino Square, so he's just got to be a little bit careful. But as you said, He's closing in. He's closed another second. It's down under 6 seconds as Swisslord picks up a 5-second time penalty. So who's he not getting out of the way of? That's one of the Williams. So I'd imagine that would be Tetris. So you won't be too happy with that as... who set that fastest lap? I think that was Dan. Was it Dan? No, Ego set the fastest lap in a bit of clear air. So Ego could find himself ahead of Marty if... depending on how long Marty goes. As we got Bang and Broseph... Oh, sorry, that's Bang in the pit lane. Broseph up into P12. Sorry, go ahead.
I think Swisslord might have to go for position here. He's definitely slowing down.
Yeah, he's coming in. So...
Oh, okay.
Hughes is coming in. He's going to box for the hard Commander tyres, and it looks like he is going to change his front wing, so it was just bothering him just a little bit. So it's going to be the case of where he comes out. He'll be behind Tetris. It's going to be where he is when he feeds out ahead of the Battle Cat. He did have about 12 seconds when we spoke about it a couple of laps ago, but that's how slow he was on the old medium tyres. Battle Cat up into P6. And looking at pit stops, Battle Cat, I'd say, is net second. So Battle Cat's been really quick off those medium tyres, but those mediums are going to have to go nearly 30 laps, so I'd imagine Battle Cat was going to have to come in for another set of tyres, you'd imagine.
Yeah, I think Yusuf had a pretty
yellow
solid pit
flag.
stop there.
I think that's Bang again at the hairpin. We had a yellow flag. Has he picked up any more damage? No, not quite. Oh, but he's nearly...
Yusuf had a pretty good pit stop. This is not too bad for him, as the gap to second now is 11 seconds, and that's around the right time for a pit stop.
You know what?
Pit stop around this track.
Yeah, 100%. But you know what? It is close. The battle for P2. Mercy has dragged Daniel Star, and these two are a lot quicker than Marty B at the moment, and it's got to be fairly close to see if Mercy, does he send the move? No, he can't. Wasn't too far back.
I think Marty's just got to stay in the middle of the track here and just do as much as he can.
Oh, I think Marty's just starting to struggle on those hard compounded tyres. We've got a yellow flag. I think that's just probably getting out of the way because he probably will be a lap down on Battle Cat and Yusuf as Tetris picks up a 3-second time penalty. So we've only got a couple, 4 drivers that have got penalties at the moment. So Mercy and Tetris. I'm assuming that's both 3. Yes, it is for Mercy. But the McLaren, obviously, first and second in the championship. Marty currently down on Mercy by 10 points. So he'd like to finish ahead of the McLaren as Mercy quite deep in the Novell chicane. But on board with the McLaren, Daniel Sard just happy to sit there. Yusuf gets past the Battle Cat. He needed to do that. And he's got a bit of clear air now. So all important to get Yusuf done that move. And it'll be interesting to see. He's going to try and undercut Toddy. But Toddy, he's just going to extend this stint, I feel like. As Mercy tries again. That was a good defense.
with pretty impressive defensive skills right
there.
there.
Yeah, but that's left him vulnerable up the hill. As we go side by side. And Mercy gets the job done. So that little bit of a cover coming into turn 1, it affected his line out on exit, and Mercy took advantage. So Mercy up into P2, and Marty's now got a job to hang on to Daniel Star and NATO behind. And as I said, NATO, obviously, he's made he's a lap down, but he's just waiting for these guys to pit so he can get his lap back. Because looking at here, so NATO is currently, I'd say, about 15 seconds off the Toddy, so he will get his lap back. He's sort of hoping for a safety car to sort of get his lap back. As Daniel Starr thought about a move down at the chicane, but didn't quite have the speed through the tunnel. And you can just see how much Mercy's gone off in the distance. 1.5 seconds in, 6 corners?
Yeah.
So Mercy's got pace. And this could definitely help him in terms of a potential podium tonight. As he got very close to the inside corner there. But I'm going to have a look. Daniel Starr, he's right on the back of the Ferrari once again. Daniel Starr goes wide, but that wall sticks out on the left-hand side. But again, he's looking for the better traction. Marty really struggling as we go up the hill once again. Oh, a big moment from Daniel Starr trying to give room. he does manage to get the job done. Yusuf sets fastest lap on the hard compounded tyres. That's what a new set does for you. So Marty down into P4 now. So Marty just struggling on the hards. Problem is he wants to go longer. Mediums will go to the end now. I'm just wondering if a few of these guys are just wanting to stay out till the softs, knowing how quick they were. But fascinating battle. Toddy just out in front, 11.5 seconds. Mercy will see if he can match his time. Now he's got clear air, 2 seconds to Daniel Starr. He'll want to try and get back onto Mercy's rear end. So lap 21 of 39 as Toddy makes his pit stop. So he's going to go onto the medium tyres. So Mercy will take the lead if he doesn't come in this lap. He stays out. So interesting to see where Toddy comes out. Yusuf is rounding turn 17 now. Oh, and there's contact between Yusuf and the Mercedes. Oh, was that Swiss Lord? I think it was. It was. So, oh, that's unlucky from Yusuf. He's had contact with the back marker, trying to get past. You sort of got to work together with the back markers here because there's just nowhere to really let cars through. And Yusuf has not picked up front wing damage, surprisingly, but he won't be happy with Swiss Lord about that. But back to the race for the lead. Toddy comes out in P4. He's got 3.1 seconds and on a fresher set of tyres and a softer compound of tyres compared to
Just
Yusuf.
with the Swiss Lord incident there, Swiss Lord has also taken out Tetris along the way as well.
Oh, no.
So I think there would definitely be an incident report there, and honestly, I think that's just poor driver corrupt.
Oh, and that is a deliberate DNF from Swiss Lord if I've ever seen one. So get that report into you. So a complete straight-on dive at turn number 8 at 48. So we'll catch you in a couple of weeks, Swiss Lord. We do not like seeing intentional DNFs. I don't know. Yeah, that was a dumb move, unfortunately, from the Mercedes driver. So thankfully, it has not caused a safety car. So we go back green flag racing at Mercy from Daniel Starr from Marty B, but those three have yet to stop. And Toddy gets past Marty. So that's fresh tyres for you. Marty really struggling, unfortunately, at the moment. And we've got Ego getting past Tetris. Swiss Lord has left the session. He won't be... feel the stewards and the admin might be having a chat to him, unfortunately.
Yeah,
but,
we don't like to see that type of driving craft around A-Inter. It's definitely not fair for the other drivers as well that had to deal with the damage, especially Tetris and... who was the other? Yusuf. Tetris and Yusuf. That's really not fair, as you are that behind. These guys are fighting for points. It's really not fair.
Well, as I'm seeing position change, that's A-Dog coming in to the pits as Yusuf gets past Marty as well. Marty really struggling. He'd want to come in on those medium tyres. He's just really starting to lose ground, and he's possibly losing any chance of a podium here. Daniel Starr has closed in about half a second to Mercy. Closed that gap to 1.2 now. So Daniel Starr still got pace as Toddy on those medium tyres. That's what fresh tyres do for you. And sets of 12 flat in terms of a fastest lap. And yeah, 100% Buster caught in 4K and no points for Mercedes, unfortunately, as Marty is finally in, changing that front wing as well. So it'll be interesting to see. Daniel Starr has got a little bit of front wing, so it'll be interesting to see, but you can see Toddy's right on the back of him as well. Toddy just has to play it smart. He's got 6 seconds to the car behind. Has a bit of a slide. But again, he doesn't have to do anything too risky. Yeah, decides not to send it down. We'll keep on board with Toddy for the time being. You can just see how much more grip he's got compared to Daniel Starr in front. And then Mercy's about a second ahead as well. He sort of wants Mercy to get a little bit away from Daniel Starr to not give him DRS, but you can just see how much speed, and Daniel Starr's hit the wall. So he won't be happy with that. Hopefully he hasn't picked up any more damage from the look of it. But you can just see how much more speed Toddy has, and I think Daniel Starr's just going to give him the position. Probably a smart move, rather than risk an accident. So Toddy gets into P2 once again. So he's got one more car to get through, and then he retakes the lead. And that's going to be Mercy again on really old tyres, and you can just see how much speed to the left, to the right around Casino Square, and closing up to the back of the McLaren driver. I'd imagine he's going to have a go at him again, probably around probably towards turn 10 and 11 at the chicane, or even just wait till turn 1 once again. But you can just see how much more grip he's got. Yusuf's catching Daniel Star as well. So I reckon these two, as smart play from Mercy. As I said, he's fighting for a championship for this one, so he's willing to give up that position there. Toddy sort of hasn't been in his race all night long, so Mercy drops down to P2. Toddy retakes the lead, and he's on some fresh medium tyres. All he needs now is just to manage his pace, and he should be able to pick up the 4 points. But I pray that I don't jinx him, being that he's a Red Bull driver, and yeah, I'd rather him not. So I'm just going to keep off Toddy for the rest of the race now.
Yeah, looking like there would be some good points for Red Bull here today.
Yeah,
P5 and P1.
Yeah, Battle Cat, but he's on the 15 lap old medium, so I feel like he's making another pit stop. But it's hard because obviously Mercy has to come in, Daniel Star has to come in, Yusuf can go to the end. So really, I feel like third's place is up for grabs, but he's nearly an entire pit stop behind Mercy and Daniel Star. So I think P5 might be the only play for the Battle Cat. Maybe is. Lane Sander picks up a 3-second time penalty for track limits. And let's quickly pause it because my sound's gone. Oh, and we are back. But yeah, field's sort of spread out now. Daniel Starr still holding on. It's going to be Yusuf now that's probably the next car that's looking for a pass. As we ride on board with the Alfa Romeo driver come through the Novel chicane. So we got about 13 and a half laps left to go. Are we thinking Toddy and Yusuf probably P1, P2? Who are we going to see between Daniel Star and Mercy? Mercy's 3 seconds really hurts him in this race to hold off on Daniel Star.
Yeah, we still can't forget about Marty, as he was in second place when he boxed, and Mercy,
Daniel Star's in.
Daniel Star, and a couple other drivers haven't boxed yet, so Marty will get a couple positions for start here, maybe even more later on.
Yeah, well, Daniel Star maybe going for an undercut. Does he fix his front wing? He does. Mercy doesn't have a front wing to change, so that really negates the undercut. So Mercy going longer. Battle Cat goes up into P4. Battle Cat might stretch these mediums, but it'd be very hard, especially with Daniel Star on fresh mediums. Ego goes past as well. So Ego on 13 lap old hards. He's going to the end, so it'd be interesting to see if Daniel Star can get past, but that 5 seconds has really cost him the place to the Aston, as Bang picks up a 3-second time penalty. Just a quick look at the penalties for everybody at home. Mercy with 3, Tetris with 3, Sander with 3, and Bang with 6. Got 14 drivers left in this race. Round 12, Monaco, lap 27 of 39. We've got 13 laps left to go, as we got the AlphaTauri and the Alpine in to make their pit stops onto the soft and the mediums respectively. As Daniel Star is hustling Ego. That's that fresh working Yusuf is past Mercy. He does make a pit stop. But I'm going to stay on board with Daniel Star because he's really hustling the Aston Martin of Ego. Really wants to get past. This is hurting his fight for Mercy for the final podium spot. And you can just see he's really getting held up. Just got to line this final corner. Nearly pushing him through the corner. Problem is that sort of sacrifices his poor exit. And Mercy's on the soft tyres as well. So, interesting from Mercy. Went long enough. He's got 11 laps on the softs, which he should be fine with. And that will help a little bit. Oh, as he got side by side and there's contact. Massive goes around. So hopefully there's caution. And that's contact. That's unfortunately a reset to Ego, but again, we got to rule in this week that if you do reset to track, if it takes more than the 3-point turn, you can do a reset to track. But unfortunately, it was a little bit too late, and the Ferrari driver of Marty B, the worst possible person that could happen to,
so unfortunate.
In terms of this championship fight. But it was Ego on the inside of Daniel Star. Daniel Star trying to go around the outside, and just a little bit of contact spins the Aston, and unfortunately the Ferrari not been able to do it, as Dan's left the session. So if I can get you to quickly invite him back. because he's running in 12th, as Ego picks up a 3-second time penalty. So, obviously, he's got some... and he's hit the wall. Ego, it's gone from bad to worse after his spin. And he's got no front wing, so he's going to have to come in. Really unfortunate. He was having a good race then. He probably would have ended up at top 6. Oh, and he's just sliding into the pits. He's a little bit frustrated, which I can't blame him. So Marty with the new front wing with soft tyres coming in as Ego. Oh, that's disappointing. He would have only lost 1 spot, Ego, but he's retired. He's just thrown away some good points for Aston Martin, unfortunately. And bang, he's crashed in the track. Novel chicane.
This might work out for...
Oh, and there's another car. That's Dan's AI. As Mercy, I think that's Mercy. He's got to cut the track. I think he may be able to get that 3 seconds removed. He sort of took avoiding action, but that's contact between Beng and the AI car of Dan, unless Dan just sort of came onto the scene a little bit later on. But it's all happening in the last minute or so.
Looked like Marty hasn't really lost any positions. He's hasn't lost any at all, if I believe off the top of my head, when he was P6 or P7 when the accident happened.
Yeah, he's
now the Ferraris are in a good position now, 7th and 8th. They can really help out each other here, and Marty being on the softs especially can also go for a hot lap, which will give him an extra point.
Yeah, Battlecat's in for the soft tyres, changing that front wing. Yeah, obviously those mediums weren't getting to the end, so he's in as Dan the Racer sets a 2-second lap, so that's definitely going to have to get changed. As Tetris, as I said, Tetris has done really well. He finished P7 last night. He's about to finish. I won't say he's about to finish because we've still got 9 laps of this race left. But Tetris running in the P5, so probably another driver that I don't want to jinx. But Williams running really well in P4, P5 at the moment. Daniel Starr's probably lost some time to Mercy, unfortunately. 10 seconds behind, as that's better. Marty sets a 14.4. Actually, I'm going to have a look at that because I'm pretty sure we had a 12 at some point. We do. So 12.4 for Marty. That's the fastest lap at the moment. So he's getting the extra point and probably needs it, considering that he's probably going to lose a couple of spots. As we have a look at the position changes on your screen, Mercy up 5, Daniel Starr up 3, Tetris up 1. As Mercy goes quicker, fastest lap 12.3, he gets a bonus point back. But Broseph into the top 10, up 4, and A-Dog up 6. We've only got 12 drivers left in the race. So all 12 drivers scoring points at the moment. As we quickly have a look at the battle of A-Dog and Broseph. They're the closest on track with the lane stand and not too far behind. And A-Dog's 7-lap mediums, Broseph on 16-lap old mediums. So the Alpine will have a lot more pace than the Ferrari ahead. Lead at the front.
Broseph will be looking to take those to the ends from now, which is going to be very difficult. But
yeah, it's going to be nearly 24, 25 laps. Yeah, so and the Alpine's really hustling him along. As he'll get DRS, won't be close enough for a move down at turn 1, but as I said, it's not really been turn 1 that guys have been getting moves done, as I said, out of turn 1. And you can just see the grip A-Dog has compared to the Ferrari in front of him. And this is especially one corner that the newer tyres can just be a narrow, tighter line. And Broseph still remains in P8, goes a little bit deep, but defends the position fairly easily able to. As just riding on board with Mercy, he's really starting to cut that gap to Yusuf. So I know 7 laps and the pens may play a factor, but he's really closed into Yusuf. So we may actually see a battle for P2 here. Daniel Starr unable to catch, so I think he's going to settle for P4. Tetris probably settle for P5, but the Battle Cat and Marty will be very quick on those soft tyres. As you can tell, Battle Cat an 11.9 fastest lap. Oh, and that was a slight touch, I think, of the wall from Broseph.
Looks as his car doesn't have visual damage at the moment.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit of light grain damage, but hopefully not too much.
Yeah, my cheat sheet showing me that Toddy's the only one that's got a little bit of front wing damage. It looks like everyone else has sort of fixed their damage. So we're looking clean at the moment. But again, you've got 7 laps left to go. And it is going to get feisty between a couple of these guys. A-Dog again can take a narrower line through this part of the circuit. And as you can see, Elaine Sanders really caught on the back of these two as well. So currently a three-way fight on lap 33. So it'd be interesting if Bruce can hold off, obviously. Both Ferraris in at the moment. Only the one McLaren. And looking at the team standings for Tier 2, McLaren has a 47-point lead over Ferrari. So McLaren at the moment scoring, I think, 18 by Ferrari. So I think McLaren
Is that in the overall?
Tier 2 standings. That one
T2
is.
standings.
And then Haas currently in third into 11. But as I said, both cars non-finishing early on with Wayne and Deadly Fuller, unfortunately.
Yeah, Broseph looks like he's struggling a bit. He had a bit of a snap through there, and also he's out of his ERS at the moment, unless that's his deployment. No, out of ERS.
He's out of ERS. A-Dog's got full. But again, 19 lap old medium, just sort of want to be off them at that this time. And again, A-Dog's quick out of turn 1. But again, he just has nowhere to go. We got a yellow flag. I think that's Dan, possibly. Oh, an issue perhaps with Daniel Star or Tetris, actually. So, not sure if that was a move on Daniel Star, but he's going to get blue flags. I'm just going to keep an eye on this battle at the moment as Nano picks up a 3-second. His race was obviously ruined, unfortunately, early on, but great job for him to keep going. Yeah, Dan's on the soft, so that's sort of why. Blue flags, a little bit of lag on my end. Head back down to A-Dog in P9. Still chasing Broseph. Problem is A-Dog's tyres are just starting to get to the point where they won't be feeling the best either.
Yeah, I feel like Atlanta Sanders in a decent position here. If he can get the move done on both these cars in front, as I believe he does have a 3-second time penalty.
He does, as I'll pick him up. Wrong one.
Yeah, his tyres are fresher than everyone else's with these two cars in front. He's got fresher tyres than the two cars in front. So if he can get the move done and build the 3-second gap, it would be very ideal for him.
Yeah, and there the stops quickly on screen. So top 5 have made 1 stop. Along with Broseph and A-Dog, 2 stops for Battle Cat and Marty. And then obviously Elaine, Dan, NATO. I've sort of had to stop a few times in this one. But as I said, got 12 running still. So they're looking alright as Elaine nearly goes into the back of the Alpine. And we've got Yusuf, I believe, coming up to lap these guys. So Toddy has actually lapped up to P7. So we've only got 6 on the lead lap at the moment, as we're on board with Toddy. So he's flying loving life at the lead, but then on board with Yusuf at the moment. He's got a lot of car. He's got a 3-car pack, and they're having their own fight. So he's got to have to be really careful. And Mercy's only three seconds down the road as well. So these guys have got to work together. As I said, can't get out of the way. That's Elaine does so. So he's possibly gonna use Yusuf to potentially get a move done on these two. So that's a smart play.
Pretty smart play, yeah.
So we'll see if he can sort of get the move done. But these two at the front, they'll still see the blue flags.
This is actually a very smart play. But he's also going to keep that gap between the McLaren behind as well, so he's going to have to try his best here to maintain it.
Yeah, and that's sort of the tricky part with the blue flags on such a tight street circuit as Monaco. You've got a little bit more room at the likes of Silverstone and the like, and that good move from A-Dog getting out of the way. So he'll try and do the same thing, but does he keep the gap to Elaine Sano? He just barely, and now it's going to be Broseph who does the same thing. Oh, but does he get back in time? He just does. A-Dog tried to look for the gap with the blue flags. Not quite.
But there is another chance here with McLaren behind, which he's going to have to let by very soonly, which probably
and that's
now.
Deep from Elaine Sano. I'm assuming he'll get out of the way. He does. And back on board with Mercy for it. We've got 3 laps. Oh, and that was I think that was A-Dog on the. Oh,
Yeah,
that hurt him. Yeah, on the entry that hurt him. So Elaine Sanders got the advantage, but again can't quite do anything. Oh, he tries to go around the outside. I think this was probably the wrong spot for A-Dog. He should have let him go up the hill because that's
I think he
really.
might have got track limits off that ADOG because he was completely off the track there.
Yeah, not sure about that, but hey, the 3 is still in order, and Broseph able to give Mercy the position as well. So Broseph still holding this 3-car pack, but it's A-Dog under pressure from Elaine Santa. And looking at the Battle Cat, he's within 3 seconds of Tetris, so he'll move up that position at the end of the race. And Mercy's only 1.7 off of Yusuf, but again, we feel like he can get 1 3-second remove because he was avoiding an accident, but he's still got a 3 seconds legit. So he won't get the job done, but I'm going to head back to that battle because he's really flying. Unless he can get the gap past him in the next lap and get 3 seconds, I have a feeling that it just won't be enough, but it'll still be a podium for Mercy. He started, I think, bottom end of the top 10, so great effort from our championship leader, and he kept out of trouble, and he's going to find himself increasing his gap on Marty, who's only in P7 at the moment. As we run up the hill once again, as A-Dog on Broseph, again very close. So good tight battles, and Tetris I think just let Battle Cat through, so I think he knew that fight not really his. And as I said, it's got to be a fantastic P6 again for Tetris with only a lap and a half left to go. But I'm thinking Mercy may not do anything really too stupid. He doesn't feel like he's probably can pull 3 seconds in a lap, so I feel like Mercy may just hold stations here. But it's another.
I think if you're Marty here, you have 2 options in this situation.
Oh, NATO has retired on track. It's too late for a safety car, but he was looking good for points, but unfortunately, he's not. The guys behind just got to be a little bit careful. Where has he crashed on the outside? Battle Cat slowed right down. He knows he doesn't want to happen what happened to Marty and a couple of the others, unfortunately. So he's done quite well. Mercy around the final corner. So we are on the final lap. Toddy has a 16-second lead over Yusuf. Then we've got a little bit of a battle between these two. But again, Mercy's got 6 seconds worth of penalties as I'll bring them up for the final lap. So
yeah, I think the Red Bulls got this to take this home today.
Yeah, Daniel Starr about 9.9 seconds behind, so he'll just miss out. Unfortunately, Battle Cat holding a fairly decent P5. He did the 2-stop, had a bit of front wing damage, so he swapped them out. Tetris, great job in P6.
I think what Yusuf... Wait, who's...
Oh, and Toddy picks up at 3 seconds. He was nearly clean, and as you said, it was about... Oh, he's got the red light flashing as well. Be interesting to see if any of these guys can make it with fuel. But I think Toddy will be home and hosed.
You could also play a good idea here of slowing Mercy down quite a lot, as he is a championship contender here and trying to help out Daniel Starr to get into the podium. But it's a bit too late now, but
yeah, a bit too
that
late,
is also a very key role there.
Yeah, and unfortunately, he missed Toddy across the line, but he does cross the line. He picks up the win. Great job from the Red Bull driver, P1. He drove a fantastic race, got the move done on Yusuf, and then he's pretty much led the way. But yeah, great job from Toddy. Yusuf will cross the line in P2. Mercy, great job, championship leader in P3. Daniel Starr a little bit further behind. He crosses the line in P4. Broseph and A-Dog move ahead of Elaine, obviously, with the penalty. So, just waiting on the Battle Cat, Tetris and Marty. So, only the top 7 finished on the lead lap. And it's going to be close. Marty actually won't fight this because he knows Tetris has got the 3 seconds as well. As Dan, the racer, I think that will get changed because I think he got moved down. I think he's further up. But, hey, great job from you, Toddy. We'll get you in the comms box very shortly to have a chat about that race win. But Battle Cat, he'll cross the line in P5. So 2 Red Bulls in the top 5. Very happy with that. Tetris and Marty, they'll go side by side across the line. So great job from Marty B to finish. Loses a couple of points to Mercy, but as I said, he managed to finish 39 grueling laps of Monaco. Yeah, Mertz, that was an interesting race. Bit of strategy. Toddy sort of clear out in front once he got that overtake done, and yeah, there are definitely a few talking points in that one.
Yeah, it was a fantastic race tonight. It was also a lot of fun to commentate with you tonight. Yeah, it's Monaco did take out a lot of drivers tonight. I wasn't expecting that many, especially on the deadly turn. But yeah, I think we had around 6 or 5 DNFs. But I'd say the drivers did pretty well tonight, besides one obvious driver. But they'll definitely be looked at by the stewards. But fantastic job to the Red Bull tonight.
Yeah, and you can see the Red
Did a
Bull on.
massive, mega job making that
Yeah,
game.
yeah. As I
But
said,
thanks for having me tonight.
all good, yeah, but Toddy was really strong as we look at the race results on screen. Race completed in just over 49 minutes. Toddy just with the 3 second on the last lap, maybe trying to go for fastest lap, but great job from Toddy. Yusuf and Mercy on the podium as Mertz unfortunately has to leave us. But yeah, great job from those from Mertz. Glad to have him in the box as we finish the results. Daniel Starr just missing out on the podium in P4. Battle Cat, as I said, great job from him. Marty as well. Tetris, Broseph, A-Dog, and Laceta finishing in the top 10. A lap down. Dan the Racer in P11. NATO finishing in P12, but the first of our DNFs, but classified 3 laps down. And then we got a long list that Monaco has claimed NATO, Ego, Bang, Swiss Lord, Deadly Fuller, Wicked Vicky, and then unfortunately we lost Wayne Morris early on. So, yeah, as we get the boys in to have a bit of a chat. Yeah, fantastic race from Toddy. Yusuf as well. I think just sort of stuck on the wrong strategy. Those mediums really went off at the end of his stint, and unfortunately just lost a little bit too much time. Stuck in a bit of traffic, but I think Toddy was probably a little bit too quick. But as we get the guys in, so fantastic race from the guys. So hopefully these guys are in here. We'll just get them in if they're not. So we need Yusuf, we need Mercy, and we need Toddy. As we've got Mercy in here. So just waiting for the other two. As we'll quickly get them in. But yeah, thoughts on the race at home in the chat. It was a fantastic race to watch. Great effort from the guys. And as I said, there's really not much else you can say. They were very, very strong. As we'll get into the showroom, and our first car will be the McLaren that we're looking at. Mercy, great job from you. Obviously missing last week the sprint round. Obviously really closed your gap compared to Marty, but yeah, starting I think P7 or P8, worked through the traffic, made some nice moves in that sort of train that you had, and then going along onto the softs and just sticking behind Yusuf, but through P3, and welcome back after a week off.
Yeah, cheers. It was a very sweaty race. That train, or the boat train, or whatever you want to call it, was interesting for a while. I knew I was faster than a couple of them. But, yeah, you just can't pass there. But Tetris did actually let me go, which I'll thank him for. And then obviously it was just Dan and Damo. And then they had a little incident, and I passed Dan. And then I think, yeah, Damo had a bit of a moment, and I did hit him, but he did message me saying it was his fault because he lost it. So yeah, once I was in the clean air, I think I just stayed. Dan stayed behind me. I just towed him along, caught up to Marty, and passed Marty. And I started with the hard soft, and I was in a part with Toddy, and I was like, I might have to go hard med because if I go hard soft, I'll be behind all these guys again, and I'll have to do the same thing. But once I passed them, I was committing to the hard soft, and yeah, maybe one more lap, and I might have had Yusuf. But
Yeah,
it was a good race in the end.
Yeah, we saw that you had 3 seconds, obviously 6 seconds. We know one of those 3 seconds you were obviously avoiding the car parked down at the Nobel chicane. So not exactly sure what happened there, but yeah.
One DNF car and one AI car just sitting in the middle of the track. So I did slow down quite a lot. I don't think I gained any time and still copped the 3. And I think also you can get that other 3 second remove. I got hit in turn 1, but
yeah,
I'll have to relook at it. But it doesn't really matter anyway unless someone does report me. So.
Yeah, I think
someone reports Yusuf.
Yeah, I think you drove fairly clean. As I said, Yusuf had a great battle with Toddy. So I think, I think you're pretty much safe in P3. I think even if you don't even bother with the 3 seconds. But I think one of the only drivers as well tonight that didn't actually have to come in and change a front wing or had front wing damage. So we know how hard Monaco is in terms of just a minor clash with the wall. They're going wide and it suffers your race pace, but obviously you drove really well to keep it out of the wall. Did you have any sketchy moments or just keeping it
Yeah, it's
nice and
funny you
calm?
say that about the light tap on the wall, 'cause I cleaned the wall up and didn't get damage. I think the swimming pool section, the first one of them, the right left or left right, whatever, I hit both of them and didn't get damage. So it wasn't a big hit, but I think I should have got damage. But yeah, very lucky to avoid it there. And yeah,
Yeah,
it was
well, great job from
a
you.
nice
Obviously,
race.
week 1 of Hell Week and Singapore next time. Obviously not as tight as Monaco, but the longest track in terms of lap time on the calendar. How are you feeling about that one next week?
Yeah, I do enjoy it. I've done it a couple of times. So I know there's a couple of guys that also like Singapore. So I enjoy the street tracks. So just a shame we've already done Jeddah because that's my favourite. But looking forward to it. I think it should be interesting and a lot of nice battles again.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, great drive from you, and yeah, great on the P3. And yeah, we'll catch you next week at Singapore.
Cheers, Scotty, and congrats to Yusuf and Toddy on his first win this season, or overall. I don't know. He's usually a boat, so congrats to him.
Yeah, no, great job from you, Mercy. Just getting the second place getter in at the moment, so I'll send him another quick invite. But while we're doing that, Toddy, great job from you. P1. I don't think you pretty much did anything wrong except for a little bit of front damage, which I saw you picked up. But fantastic speed and sort of a little joke beforehand that you sort of hope, as long as you don't do it what you did on Wednesday, you'll be fine. But yeah, I think a flawless drive from you tonight.
Yeah, cheers. Just trying, before I say anything, Yusuf isn't getting any invites.
I just sent him one as well.
Right, hopefully we can get him
There
in.
he is.
Oh, there he is. But yeah, Toddy,
Anyway, yeah.
great job.
Yeah, cheers. First win in the new game, and of course it came at Monaco. It had to come at Monaco. Kept it clean. Great battle with Yusuf. I got to commend him and Mercy. Those two were very quick today. No, I saw my chance. He hit the wall. Yusuf hit the wall early, so I took the opportunity and passed them. And then I never looked back from when that happened, and came home for the win.
Yeah, it sounds like you definitely like Monaco. You went with the hard medium strat. Weren't comfortable getting the hards that long, or you just decided to play it safe. You sort of had a big gap, just go the medium tyres.
By the end of my stint, especially coming out of the corner just before tunnel, it was very slippery. I had to correct myself a lot, and I'm like, I'm just gonna come in now and not risk DNFing. I've already DNF'd once at Monaco this week. I just want to pit. Yusuf had to pit because of the wing change. He was already far behind, so I'm like, I'm going to come in now, get on his mediums, gap, and yeah, keep it clean and didn't crash.
Yeah, exactly right. We see you pick up your first 3 second on the last lap. Were you trying to go for fastest lap, or just knew you had?
There was an attempt. There was an attempt, and I was like, I know I've got this gap, so I might as well just go for it. And yeah, just 3 second. I knew I could afford it, so I was like, I'm just going to go for it, but I couldn't get it.
Yeah, as I said, I think that fastest lap point you won't lose sleep over. And as I said, as the Red Bull captain, I'm very happy to see you on the top step. Fantastic drive from you. Singapore, same question to you next week. How are you feeling about that one?
What's on your background?
Yeah, Singapore. Well, let's see. Last time I raced there was Osiro, and I got a podium there, so I'm hoping I can do well next week.
So tight street circuits, you're loving. So you might actually love Hell Week. Looking at that, considering that we've got back.
I think I might be the only person who looked forward to Hell Week. I even like
Hell
Baku
Month,
as well.
I should say Hell Month. Get it right, but yeah. So obviously you're really looking forward to obviously just the tighter street circuits.
Yes, I'm fast there. It's just if I don't crash, yeah, I can get a good result.
yeah, well, obviously looking forward to obviously the battles that you'll have once again in the next 3 weeks. But yeah, Toddy, great job from you on your first victory on this game and in Inters. So well done, and we'll see you next week.
Yes, thank you. See you.
Thank you. And then Yusuf P2 got you in. Fantastic drive from you. Great battle at the start with the Toddy. You went the different strategy, mediums to hards. Just talk about your race for us. Yeah, 100%. But that's a great result from you. And I think just having a quick look at another second place, obviously second last week in Austria. We didn't manage to have a chat with you there, but you're on some good form. Obviously coming into the second half of the season. Obviously, as the same question to you, Singapore, Baku, Vegas coming up the next 3 rounds. You're looking to keep this good form coming. Yeah, hoping for you that you can get it. But yeah, fantastic drive once again from you. As you said, sort of not quite on the best strategy as we're sort of finding out now. The hards seem to be a very nice first stint tyre, but nonetheless, you drove it well. You kept it out, mostly out of the walls, and yeah, a fantastic P2 from you. So we'll see you next week as well. All right, so that will just about wrap us up for Tier 2. Big thank you to Mertz as well for joining me in the box. Yeah, fantastic job, obviously. Not his race last night, so he hopped in tonight, and yeah, great effort from him. Enjoy commenting with him as well, and that will do us for Tier 2. We've got 1 round left to go, and that's the Quick Boys tomorrow night in Tier 1, 5 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time. So watch out for us then. Obviously, myself will be in that race and just hoping to survive and hopefully to pick up some more good points for Red Bull like we did tonight. So, for Mertz, I've been Scotty. Thank you very much for watching us this afternoon, and we'll catch you tomorrow afternoon for Tier 1. So, until then, we'll catch you then.